Okay, now ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a look at lesson 8, slide number 6, okay? So I believe the videos in this lesson were really great at explaining this, but I'm going to take a minute and I'm actually going to go through these 3 examples for you right now. So let's take a look at our first example here, okay? So I have this t to the 2 over 5 power, so the 2/5 power. So if we think back to that video, we have to say to ourselves, the number that's in the numerator of that guy is going to be what power this t is raised to. So this t is going to come inside this parenthesis, inside this square root here, and this number that's in the numerator is going to tag along with it, okay? So then when we have this 5 here, that means we need to say it's, instead of saying it's the square root, we're going to say it's the 5th root of t to the second power, okay? So then we look at the second one here. Let me make sure that it's focused for us, okay? So remember that base is what's going to come inside the square root symbol, right? And then that number that's in the numerator, you're going to say it's to that power, so it's to the numerator's power, and then this 2 is going to be in this square root symbol, right? So it's going to be to the instead of a square root, we're going to say, well, actually, this is the square root of 64 to the first power, which is equal to just 64. And we can say that the square root of 64, we know, is what times itself gets me 64 is equal to 8. Okay? So then let's take a look at this number 3 here. This is where it gets a little bit tricky because we have a negative number here, right? So this means that we're going to write inside our parenthesis, or inside our square root here, y to the number that's in the numerator. So we're going to say to the negative second power. And then this number that's outside is going to be our 5th root, right? Ooh, but I can't have a negative exponent. So how do we always go about writing that? We always take it and we flip it and put it over, reciprocate it, inverse it, and we write it over 1. So we have 1 over the something that's going to be over here. So we're going to say it's still to the 5th root of y to the second power. Okay? So that's how you do the problems that are on lesson number 8, slide number 6. Last piece we're going to look at is slide number, goodness, let me see 1 second. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're looking at slide 9 from lesson number 8. Okay, and we have these 6 problems on here. We're only going to go through right now in this video. We're going to take a look at the first one. We're going to take a look at number 3, and we're going to take a look at number 5. These 3 I'm not going to give you the answers for. Let's take a look at this first one here. So we're going backwards from what I just did in my last video. So last time we had exponents, and we had to write them as the roots of something to the something power. This time we need to go backwards and we need to say, what is that fractional exponent going to look like? So my base, we can look, is this number that's inside. So it's going to be x to the something. Okay? And I'm going to have a fraction here as my exponent. And remember, we said this number that goes with it inside is going to be my numerator. So if I have just an x here, we can say, and it goes without saying, that you can also write it as, oops, sorry guys, x to the, let me just make sure you can see me, x to the first, right? So my numerator in this fraction down below is going to be a 1. Now I need to look at this number that's outside attached to this root symbol here to find out what my denominator is going to be. So my denominator is going to be a 5. Okay? Simple what we're going to do here. We have our m, which is this number. That's our base inside this root symbol. We're going to say it's m. Okay, remember we said it's going to be a fractional exponent. So the number that's attached to the m on the inside is going to be my numerator. So that means this is going to come down and be my numerator, 3. This number that's attached to my root symbol is going to be my denominator, m to the 3/4 power. Good. Last one we're going to look at here. Oh, geez. Just like we did on the last one, we have a 1 over something. So that means we know that our exponent fraction is going to have to be negative because it's written as 1 over this root symbol here. It's going to be a negative exponent. I can also say that my base is going to be the letter B. Okay? And I know that it's going to be a negative. Okay? And then remember we said when we're looking at a fractional exponent, we have our numerator is the number that's attached to my variable inside the root symbol. So it's going to be 8. And the number that's my denominator is going to be that number that's attached to my root symbol outside, a 5. So this is written as b to the negative 8 over 5 power. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing for these guys down below, and you're going to do the same thing we did up top here for this guy up here. Okay, so these are the 3 we just did.